Hello, hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and welcome back to Secrets in Nature.
Hello, I'm Lexi, and that's Rachel.
I'm Rachel. We have an exciting episode today. Well, I think it's exciting because I wanted to do it.
This is the final episode of season 2, so it's going to be a good one. And after this, we're going to take a little break, but I'm excited to see what next season has in store.
Yes, a much needed break so we can just enjoy the fall time, soak it all in.
We grind for this podcast, okay?
And then hopefully we'll have some fun stories by the next time we meet. We have some plans for the fall.
Yeah.
Some fun plans.
We're really banking on having interesting lives, so we have something to talk about. I just think that the transition from summer to fall is the most magical time of year. It's like only like maybe a 3-week period. And I think it's hands down the most magical time of year. And no one can argue with me. My mind is set.
Today kind of feels like it, but tomorrow's gonna be 90, so it's gonna be really hot. It feels like summer.
When it's still summer technically and it's still warm enough you can like lay by the pool, but then there's like one chill in the air, like one chilly breeze, and it's like it's still summer and the magic of summer is still there, but then like you also can foresee yourself like carving a pumpkin in the near future. Like that is bliss to me. Okay, it's like the best of both worlds. I think that July through December is just so great, and then like January through May is like the worst. Like I just think that time of year is so useless. So
Through May,
trying to live it up.
It's okay. Maybe like
No.
January to April.
No. It's cold. There's allergies. There's nothing exciting going on. No. January through May, I can do without. I guess February can be cute, but like not really.
Not when you're single.
But like, okay, even if you're single, the Valentine's Day aesthetic is cute. I can't wait to make a cheese board on my Ouija cheese board soon. That's all.
You could do that any time of year.
It could. You're right. Why am I letting time isn't even real and I'm letting this construct stop me? That's ridiculous.
That's the lesson of the day.
Nothing is real.
Okay. Well, we are going to be talking about conspiracy theories.
Rachel's idea. I just want it to be known.
All right. I just think they're fun. And this is just lighthearted. We're not like saying any of these are real or not real or anything like that. We're literally just repeating what other people say on the internet.
Yes. So yes, let this be clear. We are not saying we believe all of these. I want that to be abundantly clear, but they're just very interesting to talk about. And looking back, our conspiracy theory episodes are some of my favorite episodes. We have 2. If you haven't listened to them, stop what you're doing and listen to them because they're really interesting.
Or wait till you're done listening to this.
We try to keep them nature related. Mine are related to things we've talked about in the past on this podcast. So I'm trying to keep it all in the Secrets in Nature topic or brand, the Secrets in Nature brand.
I tried. Some of them are a little out there, but they're just for funs and for a giggle.
For funs. People just be saying anything on Reddit, like anything at all.
I know, that's why people love it, I think.
Well, Rachel was the one that said let's do a conspiracy theory episode, but like get them off of Reddit, and I really never go on Reddit. So I downloaded the app to make it easier, and I feel like it's really going to suck me in and waste a lot of my time from now on. So maybe this was a mistake.
I think it's really interesting. I never really was into Reddit, but I would hear a couple of stories about threads that happened on Reddit. Like there was one murder thread where this guy was saying like his wife was trying, like he wanted to get a divorce and his wife was cheating on him and he like didn't know what to do because he didn't want to lose custody of his kids, blah blah blah. And then there's a news story and like tons of people were trying to give him his advice, and then there was a news story about a woman who killed her 2 kids and then killed herself, and it was like very similar to this guy's Reddit thread, and he like kind of disappeared for a little bit and then he came back and he was like, yeah, that was my family. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. When was this?
Oh, I don't even remember when. Not it wasn't that long ago.
Um,
But
my
crazy
mom
stuff.
my mom texted me and was like, I didn't hear from you yesterday. And she said, and I was like, oh, sorry. And she said, you could have been abducted by aliens and I wouldn't even have known. And I said, I was abducted by aliens, but they thought I was annoying and returned me immediately. And she said, if they let you go, it's because you already know all their secrets, so they can't manipulate you. Like, does my mom think I'm this alien expert?
First of all, if
Maybe
you
I
were
am.
abducted by aliens, she wouldn't know regardless.
I probably wouldn't even
Like
know.
they're not gonna give her a note, be like, "Hey, we took your daughter."
I think my boyfriend was abducted by aliens when he was a child because he said he had a very vivid dream that they were in his room. And honestly, I don't want to tell the story on his behalf, but it's crazy.
I don't know. I have vivid dreams all the time. I think are like real in the moment, and then they're obviously not.
I know. I have the most vivid dreams. It's so insane.
So should I go first?
Yes, please go first. Set the tone for the app, please. Because
Okay.
I'm new to Reddit. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Well, I guess should we say like the person that posted it? Should we give
Yeah.
credit?
Yeah, we should.
They're so random. Okay. Berserk Boulderer. Like the word boulder, but ER at the end, like two ERs. Um, he says governments have extensively researched the effects of microplastics on humans, but have suppressed scientific findings in the media to prevent panic and anti-consumerism.
Oh my God. I 100% believe that.
That was not that far-fetched.
That is not far-fetched at all. First of all, I did want to do an episode on microplastics. We just haven't gotten around to it yet. We kind of strayed away from like the environmental stuff and started getting more into like
Yeah.
spiritual abstract topics. But I totally believe that. Totally.
The environmental stuff's a bit depressing.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
gonna
And it's all
lie.
believable, I bet.
Yeah. So,
Well,
we're
that
all
makes
slowly
sense.
dying from plastic.
Yeah. I mean, I've also heard theories that like because we everything we eat, and not everything, but like so much of what we eat and drink is out of plastic, that could have like a impact on our health. Um like everything we eat is out of like a plastic container or like a plastic bottle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure it all does, but what are we gonna do about it? There's like nothing
Literally
you can do.
nothing,
You just have to live your
nothing.
life and just get poisoned by the toxic plastic. And
And
what can you do?
consumerism is literally the backbone of our society. So if people stop with that, then I could see why they would want to suppress information like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be solved in our lifetime.
Maybe one day.
Too many greedy people,
That's really
money
interesting.
hungry. Starting off with a really happy, uplifting conspiracy
Thank
theory.
you. I loved that. My first one is a little bit ridiculous. It's about cats. um, because someone, I think this guy's username is Homestuck Please, and he said conspiracy about the origin of cats, and he said for a class he needed a wild conspiracy about the origin of cats. I don't know what class he was taking. I want to take it. I want to sign up for it. I wish I was taking classes like that in college. He said a super wild one, but believable. So I have a couple. The first one is like, I feel like I've heard before. It's that the you know how they say that like once you anyone that owns a cat, there's like a parasite that like we're all that you just like accept that you're also going to live with because it's in their poop. So when you scoop their litter, like everyone just has this parasite if you own a cat.
What?
I don't know if that's true. It's called
I never heard
toxo
of this.
toxoplasma is like the bacteria or parasite that's in cat poop. And I've literally heard before, like I remember when I got a cat, somebody said this to me. They were like, oh, anyone that owns a cat, just like you also just have this parasite. And it's like harmless, but it's just something that cat owners also get, which whatever, that could be true, that could not be true. But there's this one freaking conspiracy theory that they're like, that's how crazy cat ladies happen, because like the bacteria or parasite or whatever that's in cat poop literally like
Is it a
because
bacteria or a parasite? They're very different things.
It's people are arguing in the comments. Like some people are calling it a bacteria and some people are responding and saying no, it's not a bacteria, it's a parasite,
But like
a
bacteria is on
protozoon.
everything.
So we'll call it a parasite because there's lots of people correcting the people calling it bacteria and saying no, it's a parasite. But like, you know how they say in history that like cats were like they chose to be domesticated.
No.
They say okay, whatever. And like Egyptians worshipped cats. So they say that like this parasite in their poop is like their form of mind control. And it makes humans like just obsessed with them. And that's the theory.
I feel like dog owners are way more obsessed with their dogs and like I don't
I know,
know.
but there's no like stereotype of a crazy dog lady,
Yeah,
I
that makes no
guess.
sense because there's a lot of crazy dog ladies out there and men.
It said a recent study, this is a guy named Clyde Donovan said, and I don't know if this is true, a recent study has concluded that cats effectively excrete this bacteria, which then infects rats and humans. The study concluded that the result of this infection in rats is to make the rat sexually aroused by the smell of cat urine while also shutting down their flight response. So I guess it just makes them easier to kill, thus making them to willingly approach a cat's hunting ground. We do not yet know how toxoplasmosis affects humans and if the cats are indeed controlling us somehow, but they are certainly mind controlling rats. So that's the theory, that the bacteria or the parasite in cat poop makes them very powerful. There's another conspiracy theory about cats on here, the origin of cats, and it's also like tied into like how the ancient Egyptians worshipped them. And a lot of people in the comments are saying that cats could have been gifted to us by extraterrestrials. And it's because ancient Egypt is known to have like, or not known, but it's said that ancient Egypt has a lot of connection with aliens because people say like aliens helped build the pyramids and stuff. And I feel like that checks out. Maybe they were a gift from aliens.
Maybe. I love my cat. I know that.
My cat is an alien, I think.
My black cat looks like an alien sometimes.
Whenever he's just staring in his face, we love to be like, oh, he's traveling dimensions right now.
Okay, I saw this one a couple of times. It's kind of dumb, but it's interesting because it has to do with health. And it's that one of them was Rockstar Energy, which I guess is an energy drink. I've never had it. And the other one was about Coke. And they're both saying how they switched from sugar to high fructose corn syrup. But like, I don't think they have to list that it's high fructose corn syrup. I think they can just list it as sugar. So it just changes and like no one knows, but you can kind of taste the change. I just think that's interesting because high fructose corn syrup is killing people.
I love how those are yours, and every single one that I screenshot it has something to do with aliens.
Really?
Yours are so much more realistic. Not that aliens aren't realistic, they are, but yours are more like, down to earth, literally.
Yeah. Well, that just like is scary because it's probably true. And I don't know. That's just like one of the worst things for you. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, think about how much we as a society eat, like consume without knowing like a single ingredient that's in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
No
why
one reads that.
I switched to maple syrup because the other
Mm-hmm.
stuff is just so bad for you. I'd rather just it's still sugar, but it's natural at least.
Yeah. I switched to like only raw locally grown honey, and like there's so many better like maple syrups you can get other than like Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, Aunt Jemima's not good. It tastes good, but it's not good for your insides.
Cody bought the good maple syrup and he was eating it on his waffle and he said, honestly, I like Aunt Jemima better. And I was like, so you like the high fructose corn syrup better? And he was like, yes. Maybe I'll just grow my own maple tree and just like tap it every morning.
I freaking
I
love it
don't
now. I put it
know.
in everything.
I don't know how making syrup works. Can't you just like stick something in a tree and it just comes out?
Yeah.
Do I like have to add anything to it, or is it literally syrup in the tree?
You're asking the wrong person.
We're educated about nature. Okay, moving on. Oh, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
God, yours just make me look crazy.
Maybe you are. That's
So
okay.
this one is that rich people are aliens from the Anana S5. That's the username. And it's pretty in depth, but I'll just summarize. My brain. So, how like the uncanny valley thing about how like humans are really scared of things that look human but clearly aren't human. Like that's why people have like fears of dolls and mannequins and stuff like that.
No, I was not aware of that.
Or like a movie where the animation is so like the Polar Express is always the example that people use where the animation is so realistic that like people it makes people like uncomfortable. No.
No. I guess
Well,
because it
anyway,
doesn't make me uncomfortable, so I guess I never thought about it.
it says assuming that aliens are anything like us humans, intelligent, conscious beings, they would have learned from decades of quiet coexistence and exposure to humans that we are very fragile beings. We're scared of what we don't understand and we're unpredictable. And when we're scared of something, we'll more than likely kill it or we'll study it in ways that aren't necessarily humane, blah, blah, blah. And then he talks about the uncanny valley. We have a fear for things like mannequins and dolls that could very well be caused by the fact that at some point in history, we've had an encounter with beings that were like us, but not us. So I've also seen this on TikTok. Like people are like, why are humans so scared of things that look human, but clearly aren't? And someone like literally responded in the TikTok comments, like maybe there was something like, maybe it's like we're programmed to be scared. Like if you saw something running towards you that was like on two legs but wasn't human, that's horrifying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like way more scary than like a bear running towards you. Well, that's scary too, but
Like anytime something's running at you, you don't know what it is, it would be scary.
well, the theory is just that like we have programmed in our brains to be scared of things that seem human but aren't. So like this guy has this whole theory, this guy or woman, I don't know, has this whole theory that maybe like we were coexisting with aliens and like maybe we wiped them out because like we're a very violent species, like maybe they went extinct because of us or something, or they were near extinction because of us, sorry. And then maybe now they like found a way to come back, and instead of just like taking us out, they're just becoming the rich people that like take us for everything we're worth otherwise basically. So that's the theory. Fast forward to the present day and think about this for a minute. Why is it that people can single-handedly end poverty, disease, environmental issues, inequality, basically any problem you can think of, but they do less than the bare minimum? And yeah, I think the theory is that those are the aliens getting their revenge in their own smart way.
That's really crazy.
Oh, shut up. People are
Wait.
commenting like, I struggle with what I believe anymore.
Are you telling me to shut up?
Yeah, I was. Wait, have you ever heard the theory that like we used to be slaves for aliens?
No.
Okay. You look like you absolutely don't want to hear about it. Someone commented that
I'm like,
theory.
where do you hear this shit?
I guess Cody and I talk about it a lot. The reason that like we're this like advanced species, more advanced than any other species on the planet, is because like we were like genetically modified to like mine gold for aliens or some shit like that. I sound like a crazy person.
Oh
I'm
my
not saying I believe
God.
any of this. I just feel like I'm very familiar with most alien conspiracy theories.
I mean, that's like, I guess they're saying Jeff Bezos is an alien.
They say Elon Musk is an alien too.
No, I just think humans are easily corrupted, so that's why they're not
Yeah.
great people. I feel like we always have a fear of losing everything, even when we have more than enough. So I think that's why people sometimes are not very generous, which sucks, but we're a complex species. Who knows what's going on in everyone's minds?
We're very selfish and we're all very out of touch with the fact that everything's connected. So we think it's every man for himself.
Okay, I really like this one. It affects women. And it's that companies purposely make women's jean pockets smaller to increase the sale of purses.
Oh my God. What does that have to do with our podcast?
Because doesn't it that bother you?
No, it doesn't. I don't buy purses. I've had the same two purses that I've used
Yes,
since like
exactly.
college.
So I feel like a lot of people don't like carrying, or women don't like carrying around purses, but we have to because, like, where are we supposed to put all our stuff? Our pockets don't fit anything. Even my sweatpant pockets, they're like these giant baggy sweatpants, but yet the pockets, if I put my phone in it, it falls immediately out.
I mean, I just think that women have like these standards of like, oh, you have to wear like clothes that aren't baggy and like are fitted. So like, where would a big pocket even go? Like jeans are like jeans that are meant for women are meant to be like skinny jeans, like skin tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like even sweatpants, they don't have pockets
Yeah,
like
you're
big
right. You're
enough.
right.
Like I have a guy pair of sweatpants and they have this butt pocket, and it's so nice because like you can put stuff in there and it's not gonna come fall out.
I love when my leggings have pockets on the sides. I could just put my phone in it.
Yeah, that is so nice. I don't know. It's just annoying. Our pockets are not deep enough.
Rachel caring about the important issues.
This one doesn't really go into detail, but it says the multiverse and parallel worlds theory.
Oh, I just scrolled past that and literally thought Rachel won't want to hear about that. Let me keep scrolling. So you please hit us with it.
That's all the person wrote, but like someone commented and said, every time I have a dangerous situation, I always say, well, I just died in some other universe. And another
Oh
person said,
yeah.
I like to imagine some of my dreams are my parallel universe experiences, vicariously living my own life, but safer.
I
Interesting.
mean, whenever I have deja vu, I'm just like, oh, some myself in another universe is just doing the same thing right now.
Wouldn't that be weird if like the dreams that are so like vivid and feel real are just like happening to you in another
Yeah, I just read about
universe?
that too. I just read like a dream one. Yeah, and that's why they feel like it's real life.
That's crazy.
Well, oh, so yeah, I had a dream one that I pulled up and I chose not to talk about it, but I will now. And like it's talking about whether or not like dreams are real and just like another, you're just going to another universe or whatever. And someone just had some really good points. Like they were saying, like, before microscopes, people would say it just seems like one person gets a disease from one another, like magically. Like before we realized we were transferring germs and could see them, before the discovery of radio waves, zero people knew that you could transmit data through the air or that light was made up of particles. It wouldn't be an illusion if we tried to understand the mechanics. At the very least, even if it's quote just an illusion, why aren't people more interested in controlling their own dreams instead of paying for fuzzy VR or movies or shows or blah blah blah. So like anyway, I just think it's interesting to think about all the things that seemed like magic before, and then we found a way to study it. So you just don't know. Like dreams are so mysterious right now, but maybe not for long.
I've never personally lucid dreamed, but from people that have done it, sounds really cool. And I listened to a podcast about, I don't even remember what the guy's name was, but he said that studies have shown that if you're lucid dreaming and you're practicing something, like let's say you're lucid dreaming and you want to practice soccer, you can actually get better in your dreams at soccer.
That's insane. I did.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a dream episode originally. Like we had it planned to do like a lucid dreaming type episode for the season finale, but I would like to find some kind of expert if we're going to talk about something like that, because like I can only talk about my own experiences for so long, and I feel like somebody that, I mean, it'd be hard to find an expert since it's something that's so hard to study, but like even people, like I've read books about like people that spend their whole lives practicing like astral projection and stuff like that, and it's just so fascinating. So I feel like I just want to save up for it to be a really good episode.
And we've known about this for so long because we had to read that book in fourth grade about astral projection.
I talk about that book all the time and no one ever has heard of it. It's called Stranger with My Face. We both had to read it. We weren't in the same class, but we had the same English teacher, right?
I thought
In
it
high
was in fourth
school.
grade. No, I thought it was in elementary school. You read it.
I read it in high school in Mrs. Haynes' class. And you read the same one. That was high school.
What?
And it was about this
I don't remember this.
it was about this like teenage girl of Native American descent, and she was adopted. And everyone should stop what they're doing and order this book right now. And she basically like meets her long lost twin sister through astral projection, and it's insane. It's so interesting. It's fiction, but
Obviously.
but you never know. It's pretty realistic to me.
I
Ever
mean, the
since,
part where she gets her body stolen, I don't know.
why would you spoil it? I purposely left that part out of my description.
Oh my god,
It's a spoiler.
No, that's not like the ending of the book.
No, I remember when that happened in the book. I was like,
It probably says it in the description of the book.
Well, I'm also like, ever since watching Insidious, because that happened because of astral projection. But I also like heard I just heard with all my friends that I astral project on a daily basis. I've heard that it's actually like not possible for something to possess your body without your permission.
Who knows, man? It's not going to happen to me. That's all I can say.
Well, also, have you ever seen, of course there has to be like other dimensions that we can go to, because haven't you seen the movie Interstellar? It makes so much sense.
How many times
You have
I've
to
never seen this movie?
You have to see that movie. You have to watch it tonight. I'm not kidding.
No, I'm watching Lord of the Rings trilogy.
You've seen that already?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I just assumed you have.
No.
Interstellar is such a crazy movie that the entire next morning after watching it, when I was driving to work, I thought about it the whole 40-minute ride there.
There's another really crazy movie. What the frig is it called? With Natalie Portman about aliens. Oh, the movie is Annihilation. That's another thinker. The next day, you're like, oh my God, what does it all mean? Annihilation. It's with Natalie Portman. It's probably similar to Interstellar, like that same kind of, like at the end, you're like, what the hell did I just watch? What does it all mean?
I love that feeling.
How about you watch that movie and I'll watch Interstellar?
Okay. Deal.
Okay. What's your theory?
Well, someone was saying like on Reddit how we're all just living in like the Truman Show, which like can't possibly be true, because how could we all be living in the Truman Show? But I do remember seeing a TikTok before that I thought was really crazy, where some guy, it's more just the argument that we're all living in a simulation. And this guy was telling the story about how he was driving. He was in California and he was driving like from Southern California to Northern California. And he stopped at a convenience store and was just checking out randomly. And the cashier said to him like something very specific, like, oh, are you enjoying your drive to blank? Like she like knew somehow, like, or she said like, are you enjoying your drive up north? Like she knew something that like she wouldn't have known because she was just checking out this guy and like checking him out at the cash register. And as soon as she said it, he said like somebody fainted in the store and there was like a giant car accident right outside the store at the same time. So like it was like the simulation glitched and like somebody said that something they weren't supposed to say, and so they had to like throw in two distractions like instantly, you know. I thought that was funny.
You told me that like a couple days ago.
I know.
I don't know. That's kind of wild.
Like what are thoughts? Like if that's true, he could have been making it up, but like that's crazy.
It is. There's probably like really weird stuff that happens like that all the time.
I know. I love listening to people's glitch in the Matrix stories. Like people that say they were driving and like 1 second they were at this light and then the next second they were at like another light that they know is like 15 minutes away or something. Like they lose time.
I want to experience a glitch.
I know. Same.
Actually always look in the sky hoping I'll see a UFO. Maybe one day.
At night vision goggles.
All right. Well, I just want to see with my bare eyes. This one has to do with nature. It's that
finally.
It said dandelions are not a weed, but they are a flower.
What evidence is there, and why would anyone care what it is?
I don't know. 35 fingers posted that on Reddit.
I love him.
I say they are a flower. You know you can eat them?
Yeah. You can like make wine out of them.
And vinegar?
Somebody said on Reddit, there was like he said his theory was that bugs are actually spies, and went into this long description, and someone literally just commented and said, I don't know what you're on, but can I have some? And then someone was like, yeah, why do you think the government got the term bugging? Like when you bug someone or bug a room, they were like, that's what that's from. The bugs are the spies.
Oh my God, what if that like fly infestation, what are they called?
The lantern flies?
The lantern flies. What if they're all spies from overseas?
Maybe. This is an old lady one. No, it's not. This is
That is an old lady theory.
This theory is Sensodyne toothpaste weakens teeth to sell more Sensodyne toothpaste. That could be argued of any product though. Yeah. Like chapstick. There's a theory that chapstick makes your lips more chapped so that you buy more chapstick. Like that just works for any product, I feel like.
I don't use Sensodyne.
Someone commented, I had a sensitive tooth. Hurt when I brushed. Dentist recommended Sensodyne. Tooth didn't hurt anymore when I brushed. Either way, Sensodyne works for me.
Good for him.
I'm so happy for him. I'm genuinely so happy for him. Sensitive teeth suck. Everyone's commenting. Everyone's commenting that Sensodyne like changed their life. So I guess that one's debunked.
Who doesn't have sensitive teeth? That's what I want to know.
Well, I have gum recession, so mine are extremely sensitive. My teeth are more sensitive than yours, Rachel.
I think the conspiracy is that everybody has sensitive teeth. And it's just normal.
What did like people do before? Like no one took care of their teeth up until like what? Less than 100 years ago. Like probably like maybe even 50 years ago. Like 50? I always wonder that yes.
So not till 1970 people didn't take care of their teeth.
What year is it? I at any given moment I think it's the year 2000. Like when I think 50 years ago I think of 1950. But anyway, what did people do like back during like caveman
they had their
times?
Teeth yanked.
No, not caveman times. Like I don't know.
That's going like really far back.
Ancient Egypt and ancient Mesopotamia. Like what did they like, how are their teeth not falling out of their head, and how are they all not toothless? Like why do our teeth fall out when we don't take care of them? But back then no one was taking care of their teeth, but they still had teeth and like ate really tough meat. Were they just
no one was eating sugar and coffee and shit that destroys your enamel? Probably what we eat I think destroys our teeth. I don't know. Maybe they were just probably used to the pain. It's probably just like normal if they had toothaches. Like if you don't know any better. I have a theory that's going to blow your mind. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Conspiracy theories are created to distract people from the real conspiracies.
I've heard that before. Yeah, like I've heard people say like people create conspiracy theories so people get like all caught up in the wrong things, you know?
Yeah.
Like trying to prove the things that aren't actually true and ignoring the things that are true. But I feel like I believe everything. Like because in my opinion, like nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Like how can you look at anything and be like that right there is 100% not true? Like how do you know? Who's to say? So I just feel like I do take everything with a grain of salt, but I also feel like I'm like 99.9% open to everything, you know?
Same. Like, I feel like when I watch a really good conspiracy video or hear about it or something, I like automatically believe it. But then the thing is, probably like 10 minutes later, I already forgot about it. And that's that. As like, I don't freak out about conspiracies. Like, I just think they're fun.
So fun.
Like hear about.
This person's theory literally says, do you think the government actually does know about aliens? Honey, catch up here. I feel bad for that person.
Here's one about aliens and UFOs. by inflatable artboard 4. It says many of the UFO sightings from the 50s, 70s were actually top secret government spy planes, and the government egged on alien conspiracy theories to cover it all up and paint conspiracy theorists as crazy at the same time.
Yeah, I believe that.
So you don't believe that they were actually UFOs, you believe that they were the US testing stuff?
I mean, like, I think that they probably don't mind when people get all like, oh, trying to prove the existence of aliens and UFOs, because like most of the time those people are just painted as crazy and they have nothing to worry about, really, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of sightings are probably like technology that they have not released yet, or even say that like we don't even know that they have, because they have to be secret with certain things because, you know, other countries will steal, or they don't want them to know like what kind of stuff we have. So I bet there's
Yeah.
all types of shit that they have flying around like in the desert and wherever they test stuff go
Area
to.
51.
Yeah, like people always see stuff flying around there. I doubt there's like UFOs just flying around there all the time. It's
I
probably,
know. Yeah, it's probably a test site.
yeah.
There's an ad that says seeking a co-host to discuss conspiracy data. Should I quit this podcast and go work for this person?
Yeah, conspiracy data. I wonder what kind of data they have. I hope I don't die and not know the truth about aliens.
Oh, like you cannot end your life without knowing the truth.
I mean, I'm not going to end it, but
I mean, your life can't end in general. Sorry.
yeah.
Well, what if you find out the truth when you die? Because your amnesia will be gone.
What?
Your human experience amnesia will be gone when you die. Do you believe the government will fake an alien invasion and win to create a false sense of security towards extraterrestrials? That's interesting.
How are they going to fake a
I know.
invasion of
Hire
aliens?
actors, makeup. I don't know.
Are they going to CGI it and then post it on the news and be like, this is real?
I really love the idea of starting and ending the season with aliens. Some of these are just very dark and I don't like it.
People love that crap. Like anything that's dark. I mean, hence why like half the TV shows out there are like really dark and depressing. I have one last theory that I think's very interesting. I did not screenshot the person's name in it, so I don't know who posted it. But it says the American public education is purposely declining to promote consumerism and make a more subservient population. For example, public schools used to teach home economics, wood shop,
Mm.
or auto shop. By cutting the budget for these programs, you're going to end up with adults who don't know how to cook. So they spend all their money at restaurants. So they spend all their money on clothes, have an understanding of how tools work and make small repairs. So they spend all their money on handymen or repairmen, or take care of their cars. So they spend all their money at car dealerships or auto shops. And then you get to homework. We are teaching children and young adults it's okay to work all day at school, then do additional work at home. With so many companies changing to a salaried position, it's perpetuating that it's expected to do some work at home and not get paid for it. After all, you did it your whole life with homework, so why should the workforce be any different? But yeah, that's a deep one.
That is
And
a
I
deep
believe
one.
it.
Totally. I
Um,
mean, I don't know if it's like that specific goal. Like, I just think that like all of the funding is being cut for things like home ec and wood shop and stuff because they just don't view it as important. I don't know if there's like a big plot or anything, but I mean, it would make sense because again, if
yeah.
consumerism and capitalism falls, then everything crumbles. And yeah,
But why is it not important?
because they look at it as like anything that's remotely creative, they don't look at as important because it can't help
Yeah.
them. Like they can't put that on a standardized test. They can't put that on like the SATs to have because they want you to go to college, and spend your money at college.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Crazy. I wish that they could have, like, we could have had more creative classes in school. I think it would have really helped a lot of people figure out what they want to do with their lives.
I took so many creative classes. I took communication technology my junior year of high school, and now I'm a television producer because of it. So I feel like we're very blessed to have had those options.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know what those things were.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the average student like didn't even know it existed. Like I only knew it existed because like I randomly decided like, oh, I think I might be into radio and television. So I asked my guidance counselor if that was like if that existed, and he said yeah. But like there was never advertised anywhere. Like it was never like posted anywhere on a wall or like talked about or things like that.
Yeah. And I feel like in middle school is when they should have really introduced that stuff to us. So that in high school we could have like, because if you didn't pick like certain stuff early on in high school, like there would have been no point
Yeah.
to doing it. Like I know for sewing, they had sewing, but like if you didn't do that your freshman, sophomore year, like you would have been so behind. So I guess they did have a lot of creative classes,
Oh, they did have pottery.
but the thing is like you feel like you're wasting, like when you're in high school, you feel like you would, if I took pottery, I felt like I was just going to waste my time because I'm not learning
I
something or what can I
know.
do with that in my life?
They
Like
made you feel like you're
everything,
wasting your time.
yeah, like everything was just put on. Like no one
Well,
really talked about creative fields that you could do when you're older. Everything was like,
I
you know,
know. Well, we
typical
just
9 to
talked
5
about that.
jobs.
We just talked about that in our conspiracy in our self-care episode because we were saying how like you stop doing things that you enjoy really early in life because it either number one gets really competitive really early or number two everyone starts looking at you like, oh, is this going to make you money one day, so you stop doing it.
Yeah, I remember my senior year in college, I really wanted to take graphic design and they would not let me because it wasn't part of my curriculum. Like that's just so
Stupid.
annoying.
You're
Like I could
paying
take
them.
art. Like I literally took art, like drawing, but I couldn't take graphic design. Like how does that make any sense?
In graphic design there's so many jobs where that
I
would be
know.
useful.
I liked my art class, but it was just annoying. That's just another conspiracy. Oh, and then like the whole, doing homework and then having to do work.
Kind of conditioning you early to
Yeah.
make you think that you have to always be doing something even outside of the building. Yeah.
I think it's crazy that we have to do homework after spending 8 hours in school, or we had to, not anymore, obviously. And then we also have extracurricular activities like sports and drama
How did we
club,
do
or like
it?
I didn't. I did my homework in class.
Oh, honestly, so did I. I did it in like homeroom.
The state of Pennsylvania just passed a law for workers, and you cannot work at home and not get paid for it now. So if your employer is taking advantage of you in Pennsylvania,
Bring up
get
the
on that shit.
records.
Yeah. Like on call, you have to be paid for being on call. Like there's just like a ton of stuff. I work for lawyers. I had to make a little graphic about it. I think that's important because I think a lot of people get taken advantage of.
This episode was chaotic
It was all over the
from start
place.
to finish. Chaos.
Well, if you're anything like me that has to change the subject on like every 5 minutes, like my brain has to go to something else, I hope this kept your interest.
Well, or people are still thinking about one random conspiracy theory we said in the middle of the episode. Like no one ever elaborated on this. But I only read the elaboration that was provided in the Reddit
Yeah.
comments.
I hope you learned some really valuable information from this episode that you
Learned
can.
nothing. I learned nothing. You learned nothing. My brain is mushier than it was when I logged into Zoom for this podcast.
It's called sarcasm.
Thank you so much for a fantastic second season. I am very pleased with how it went. And I'm so thrilled to have had such amazing guests. And I'm so excited for what next season has in store. If you want to be on our podcast, send us an email, secretsinnature@gmail.com. If you know someone that might want to be on our podcast, send us an email because we just want to meet so many interesting people and learn so many interesting things. And this is only the beginning.
Yes, I just remembered that this is the last episode of the season. So I hope you like this season. And I think next season will also be even better.
Yeah, write us a review on Apple Podcasts. Tell us what your favorite episodes were. Tell us what you hated. It was probably the conspiracy theory episode. And tell us what you loved. And give us 5 stars. Write us a love note. Flirt with Rachel. She'll send you feet pics. Whatever you want. Just write us a review. Thank you.
Yes, the reviews boost your podcast so more people see it, I'm pretty sure. So just give us a little 5-star review. You don't even have to write anything. Go follow us on Instagram, Serious in Nature Podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter and all that fun stuff.
And don't go anywhere because next season is going to be a good one. We don't know how to produce content that isn't spectacular. So
we can only get better from here.
Just tell yourself that if you hate this podcast.
Until the holiday season.
Merry Christmas. We'll be back. I'm just kidding. We'll be back earlier than that. We will see you in several Fridays.
Goodbye.
Bye.